So that left off the screen to me. So
Did you like it?
I did. Was there something special about that performance, and how did you feel being filmed? Is it a different? Were you conscious of it?
It's quite different than, for example, La Voix Humaine, where the camera is actually 2 feet away.
Oh
when
my
you make
God,
a
that
movie,
was-
the
yeah.
camera's really close.
Yeah.
When you do a filmed production, you're not so aware of the cameras being in the
Yeah.
room. So you still try to make sure you tell the story to the theatrical space, but you do need to adapt a little bit because the lens is coming in quite tight eventually,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
it's not tight physically to you in that moment.
What I love is you are so aware of telling the story all the time, and that's even in that small reel it came through. I mean,
Really?
how does that work for you? Are you always thinking?
You know, I cannot, as a performer, I cannot leave my character. I can't leave my character for that type of, okay, here comes my high note, or here comes the bit that's difficult. The ice skater sort of prepares for their triple X.
Yes.
You can kind of see that they stop their choreography because they're like, here comes the jump.
Here comes
you
the
know?
big one, yeah.
And it's an easy trap to fall into. But for me, the lifeblood of what I do is kind of communicating a feeling to the audience, and then receiving the energy that they send back to me as a result of sort of processing those emotions.
Yeah.
So, in a way, my performance isn't really complete until I receive it back.
Unless you get the audience
Yeah,
back.
I'll sing a high note, and if it's not.
So what's it like when you
finished.
sing in an empty house? When you're singing in an empty house?
Oh, it's nothing. It means
Nothing.
nothing. Oh my God, no. Because we can all be superheroes in an empty theater, but there's no exchange. There's no. If you would sing a perfect song and do it everything you wish you could do, it means nothing if the theater's empty. Really.
And so
Same in the dressing room.
I mean, I see this as if you're selling it, is it sort of entry-level opera, do you think, Mary Whittle?
100%. This is your. This sits with La Boheme.
Because I can see a lot of people on Christmas Day, it's a sort of, you do try, because you spend so much time watching the TV, it's just Christmas Day, isn't it?
Yeah.
That you try stuff out, don't you?
I think you should. And I think for a piece like this to air on Christmas Day, it's sort of the perfect thing when you've had your Christmas lunch and you're happy and you're satisfied and you want to just sit and watch a rom-com. You want to watch a rom-com.
It's a happy show, isn't it?
It's such a lovely show, and it's really funny. So much about the physical comedy that Cal brought to it has just really lifted those scenes, lifted the comedy of those scenes. So you get all of the physical theatricality, but you get all of the romance too. And that is literally the rom-com element of this. Which is, you want to fall. I'd like to fall in love with it, and that's how I feel when I performed it. And actually watching it even now, I was a bit sort of when Hannah and Danilo danced together in the evening.
That was so funny.
And then he says, "I don't deserve you." They're still struggling with admitting their love for one another, but the magnetism they feel is so.
And what about people that
palpable.
think that the characters in opera are old-fashioned? How do you?
Do you know?
react
It all
to-
depends on how you portray them. So if you want to do, even in theater, if you want to make a sort of cliched trope of a character, you could do it even with Hamlet, even with Macbeth, even with Henry VIII. You could do it
Without trying.
But it's how much you bring of true emotion and true authenticity to a role that makes people believe in what you do. And that, we've seen great examples, in theater and film of people who take, outlandish characters that you would think would never be able to pull on your heartstrings, and because they portray them so convincingly and so authentically, you imagine with them and you empathize with them. And I'd like to think Hannah is like that for the public as well.
I mean, my daughter did gender studies at Birmingham University, and she's
Did she?
always talking about characters on TV and how misrepresented women are. Do you see that? And
Yeah, I think
do you
it's-
worry about
It's a completely.
representation of them?
I think that we've made so many strides, but there's always more that we can do. And of course, we have a counterculture now, which we've seen in America as well. We have this counterculture,
Yeah.
a threatened male identity that is also looking to find its place in this brave new world. And it's a very interesting time to be in.
It is. Where do stories fit into an opera, do you think?
Well, I think that if you look at how Danilo is and you look at how Hannah is, you've got two characters who are unbelievably modern. A man slightly still prevented from showing his true emotions because of his ego and his pride. You have a woman who she's just remarkably modern for a character who was written so long ago. She's so self-aware. And she's not enticed at all by all the fluttery fanfare that everyone bestows upon her. Because she's aware that her financial circumstances have contributed to all of this extra fluff. You know, she's totally aware of it.
Yeah.
She's sort of like, she lets them fawn, you know, in that entry, she lets them fawn. And then she sort of goes, I know what this is, you know. She's got the slightly tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah,
she indulges them.
Oh,
she's
fantastic.
But she doesn't feel like she needs to cut everyone to size. You know, she doesn't need to sort of go, no, you're a fake and you're a fraud and you're just pretending and you just want me for my money. I don't think she needs that. She's so self-assured.
Yeah,
she can
is.
read the room and can instantly sort of gut
She's
the
strong
room.
and she's in control, isn't she?
She's totally in control. And at the same time, I think because of that, she kind of allows herself to express her vulnerability, but in a very verbal way.
Yeah.
So there's one point when she says to him, she goes, right before they dance, she goes, we could be so much more if we were together.
It's lovely.
And he's like, together? You know?
Yeah.
Because he cannot believe she would just say it, you know? She just says it. It's more courage than I have in my own
Got any of us.
life.
So you were outside, you were talking about it's Christmas in LA for you.
That's right, I'm going back to my hometown.
Are you?
Yeah, I grew up in Los Angeles.
Of course, yeah. There's a lot of
So-
great memories for you there.
Yeah, lots of great ones. And my parents are about to retire there, so we're going to be in a slightly warmer setting this Christmas. But, you know, Christmas is a Glenborn are enchanting, and I don't want to forget that. But my father is declining in health, so we just want to make sure that
Yeah.
we get them over there and spend some time with them when we have the Christmas holidays before it comes to a point where my dad might not be able to travel. So that's the sort of thinking behind it.